The most expensive mistake may be selling a Tulsa home that could have paid you for years. But keeping the wrong property can be just as costly. Before you make either decision, your home needs to pass 4 tests: what a sale would unlock, whether the rental math survives real expenses, how much work the property will demand, and whether owning it still supports the life you are moving toward. Once those answers are honest, the decision usually becomes much clearer. As we go, notice which side keeps winning for you: freedom now or potential income later. That tension often reveals more than the house itself. Start with what selling would actually do for you. Homeowners naturally focus on the sales price, but that number does not tell you what that decision accomplishes. Your estimated net proceeds matter more. After the mortgage, selling expenses, repairs, and other transaction costs are accounted for, what would be left? More importantly, what job does that money have? Maybe the equity becomes your down payment on the next home. It could eliminate other debt, strengthen your reserves, or allow you to make the next move without carrying 2 mortgages. That benefit has real value. You should compare it against the realistic profit from renting the home, not the gross rent. Suppose your property could rent for $2,100 per month, and your payment is only $1,400. At first glance, it looks like your house would make $700 every month, but that is not your cash flow. Vacancy will happen. Repairs do not arrive on a convenient schedule, and turnover costs money even when the property is in good condition. You also need to account for management, future replacements, insurance changes, and the normal wear that comes with someone else living in the home. Once those expenses are included, a comfortable margin can become thin quickly. The goal is not to scare you away from renting. It's to keep you from calling revenue profit. If the home only works as a rental when nothing goes wrong, then the home doesn't work. A strong rental should leave room for the property to behave like a property. Appliances stop working, tenants move, roofs age, HVAC systems eventually need attention. You need enough margin and reserves to absorb those without those moments turning every repair into a personal financial emergency. And this is when a lot of homeowners discover they don't actually have a rental decision, they have a speculation decision. They're hoping appreciation will compensate for weak cash flow, or they're counting on perfect occupancy because the current payment looks attractive. And while appreciation can strengthen a good investment, it should not be an excuse for a property that cannot support itself. The next question is whether your home is naturally suited to becoming a rental. A good home is not automatically a good rental. The property may have features you personally love that do not add much to the rent. Another home may look less impressive but attract consistent demand because of its location, layout, condition, or just the ease of maintenance. Think about the property from the next occupant's perspective. Would the expected rent be competitive for that part of the Tulsa metro? Does the layout work for the type of renter the home is likely to attract? And will the condition allow you to lease it out without immediately spending a large amount of money? You also need to consider the systems behind the walls. A home approaching several major replacements may still be worth keeping, but those costs belong in the decision. Ignoring them only delays the moment when the numbers become honest. The same applies to cosmetic condition. You may be comfortable with worn flooring or an older kitchen because you've lived with it for years, but a renter comparing several homes will see the property differently. Sometimes a modest investment before leasing can improve demand and protect the home. In other cases, the work required becomes another reason that selling makes more sense. And this is where local rental information matters. Do not decide what the house should rent for based on one listing you saw online. You need comparable properties that are in similar location, similar size, condition, and features. An active listing also only shows what the owner is asking. It does not prove what a tenant will pay. Your projected rent should be conservative enough that your plan still works. Now, we need to talk about the part most rental calculators leave out: you. I own and manage both long-term and short-term rentals, and the responsibility is the part people underestimate the most. Collecting rent is easy when everything is going well. The real test arrives when the property interrupts your life. A maintenance issue may come up while you're working. A tenant could move out during a really busy month, or a repair may require several people before the problem is fully solved. none of that automatically makes rental ownership a bad experience. You simply need to know whether you want the job that comes with the asset. Some owners enjoy solving problems and building a portfolio over time. Others discover that the income does not feel worthwhile once the calls, decisions, record keeping, and uncertainty become part of their schedule. Neither reaction is wrong. Management can also be hired out, but that expense belongs in the numbers from the beginning. Do not calculate the deal as though you'll manage it forever if you already know that you don't want to. Distance adds another consideration. Keeping a Tulsa property while moving across town is different from owning it after relocating several states away. A strong property manager can help, though you still remain the owner. Major decisions and financial responsibility all returns to you. Short-term rentals deserve their own level of caution. A short-term rental is not simply a long-term rental with higher nightly income. I wish. It operates more like a hospitality business, with furnishing, turnover, guest communication, changing demand, and additional operating costs. Before choosing that direction, you would also need to verify that the property, neighborhood rules, insurance, and local requirements support the plan. If you are weighing this decision right now, which part concerns you more? Giving up future value by selling, or taking on a responsibility you may not enjoy? Put your answer in the comments. That is usually the real conflict hiding underneath the numbers. Now, let's talk about your timeline. Keeping the property becomes easier to justify when you're thinking long-term. A single repair or vacancy can distort 1 year of performance, but over a longer period, rental income, debt reduction, and potential appreciation have more time to work together. A short ownership window gives you less room for mistakes. If you suspect you may want to sell within a year or two, converting the home into a rental could create more work and expense than the brief hold is likely to justify. Tax treatment also deserves professional attention before you delay a sale or change the property's use. Your situation may be affected by how long you've lived in the home, when it becomes a rental, depreciation, and the timing of a future sale. That conversation should happen before the decision, not after you've already rented the property. Your financing plan matters too. Homeowners want to keep their current mortgage because the interest rate is lower than what they could get today. That loan may be valuable. It does not automatically make the house a good investment. A favorable rate cannot repair weak demand, eliminate maintenance, or create cash flow where the underlying numbers are too tight. It also may affect your ability to qualify comfortably for the next home. Talk with your lender about how carrying the existing mortgage changes your buying power. The plan needs to work with both properties included, rather than assuming the rental income will solve everything immediately. Now, consider the emotional side. You may feel attached to the house because it was your first home, the place where you raised your family, or a property you worked really hard to improve. That history matters personally, but it does not belong in the cash flow calculation. Keeping a home because you may want it back someday can be an expensive insurance against a future that never happens. Unless returning is a realistic plan, evaluate the property based on what it can do next. The opposite reaction can also create problems. You may be tired of the house and be ready to be done with it. That frustration can push you towards selling before you fully understand the opportunity you're giving up. A clear decision should survive both emotions. Would the property still make sense if it belonged to someone else and you were considering buying it as an investment today? That question removes a lot of the noise. If you would not purchase the house at its current value for the income it is likely to produce, keeping it deserves a closer look. Your existing equity does not make the investment free. That money is still yours, and leaving it in the home carries an opportunity cost. Selling often becomes the cleaner choice when the equity has an important job in your next move. Thin rental margins strengthen that case, especially if the home is approaching major repairs. Relocating far away adds another layer of complexity, and there's nothing wrong with deciding that simplicity is more valuable than uncertain future upside. You're not failing as an investor by selling. Sometimes the smartest investment decision is choosing not to own a property that no longer fits your plan. Keeping the home deserves serious consideration when the rent remains strong after realistic expenses and the property is well suited to long-term demand. Your finances should be able to absorb vacancy or a major repair without disrupting the rest of your life. Management also needs a clear answer, whether you intend to handle it personally or pay someone else. And most importantly, the property should support a goal you can explain. Maybe you're building a rental portfolio. You could be holding a well-performing asset for long-term income, or preserving flexibility because your next move is temporary. I don't want to sell yet is a feeling. I'm keeping this property because it produces a realistic return and fits my 5-year plan is a strategy. There's also a third category homeowners rarely define clearly enough. You may decide to keep the home temporarily while gathering better information. That can be reasonable, but the decision needs a deadline. Choose a review date and determine what must be true by then. You may need a certain rental amount, a completed repair, stronger reserves, or more clarity around the next move. Without a deadline, temporary ownership can quietly become permanent indecision. Here's how I would work through a choice before doing anything to the property. First, get a realistic estimate of your net proceeds if you sold. I can do that. Then determine the market rent using true local comparisons. Your monthly carrying cost needs to include more than the mortgage, and the property should have a reserve for vacancy, maintenance, and larger future expenses. Once those numbers are visible, compare the two outcomes. What does selling allow you to do immediately? Now look at what keeping the property could reasonably produce over the next several years. Do not give the rental scenario perfect conditions, and do not treat selling as though you're simply giving up an asset. Both choices create opportunities, costs, and risks. The better answer is the one that fits your financial position and gives you a level of responsibility you can carry comfortably. Market conditions can influence the timing, but they should not make the decision for you. A strong selling opportunity may improve the case for assessing your equity. Healthy rental demand could make holding more attractive. Neither market signal can rescue weak personal finances or an unclear plan. Your home does not need to become a rental just because it can. Selling is not automatically the safe answer just because it feels final. You are deciding what role this property should play in the next part of your life. Once that role is clear, the right path becomes much easier to recognize. If you own a home in Tulsa Metro and you're stuck between selling, renting, keeping it, what to do, comment with the option you're leaning toward and the one issue holding you back. And then subscribe for more honest conversations about buying, selling, investing, and making real estate decisions around Tulsa with a plan you can feel confident about. The goal is not to keep every property. It is to recognize which ones are worth keeping.